A.J. Brown got traded, and the Eagles also drafted Jordan Davis. A.J. Brown went to the Eagles. The Eagles sent pick 16, 124, and 162, and 166 for pick 13. And the Titans traded A.J. Brown for the 18th pick and the 101 overall pick. I might have got that wrong. The Eagles sent pick 15, 124, 162, and 166 for Jordan Davis, but they also sent pick 18 and 101 for A.J. Brown. So basically, the Eagles traded 2 of the first-round picks for A.J. Brown and Jordan Davis, and then the Titans selected Treylon Burks. We'll talk about the Eagles first, and you can talk about Treylon Burks. I know that's your guy with the Titans. This is a big-time move, and now that A.J. Brown is on the Eagles, does this make them by far the favorites to win the NFC East now?
By far the favorites. I'm not going to go that far. You always have to respect Dallas and what they do over there. I do believe that it does make them the favorites, but I'm not taking them as the overwhelming without a doubt. Still need to see how things go and break Cowboys' way. But as of right now, yes, Eagles are extremely exciting. They have a solid offensive line. Jalen Hurts showed that he could be a serviceable quarterback and then some, especially with his legs. But what we need to see from Jalen Hurts is his ability to throw the football accurately and down the field consistently. You bring in A.J. Brown, and this also unlocks another avenue to their offense where now A.J. Brown is one of the better gadget guys. Is a disrespectful word to use, but I feel like it definitely encompasses what A.J. Brown's abilities can do because he can do everything. I mean gadget guy in the best way possible. I know we have had conversations about that term gadget guy, but A.J. Brown can do legitimately everything at the wide receiver position. Can take a quick a flat to the crib. He has those that breakaway abilities, a slant to the crib. He has the over-top abilities. He can come out of the backfield, take a handoff, can take a wide receiver screen. That's the word I was looking for, my God. A.J. Brown is like that. It's just a matter of being able to stay on the field consistently. When he's on the field, he is one of the most exciting wide receivers in the NFL. And you pair that with Devonta Smith, this is a strong wide receiver duo. Now it starts to become predicated all on Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts can take a strong leap in his development this season, the Eagles will really be overwhelming favorites to win the division. And then we can start getting into the conversations of can they really compete to make a Super Bowl run? But it's all predicated on Jalen Hurts and his ability to progress as a passer. Now, in terms for Tennessee, I love the move. I absolutely love the move. And I know that you see a name like A.J. Brown traded, and with the Titans, who are to a degree lacking at the wide receiver position, they still have Robert Woods, but for them to trade to that pick and then take A.J. Brown, I mean Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is basically A.J. Brown, just we need to see it in the NFL first. I love the move. It was very lateral for the Titans, and now instead of paying A.J. Brown $25 million a season, now you're paying Treylon Burks rookie money, and you can't beat it.
Bears took Kyler Gordon. Please free Justin Fields. He has no receivers. But yeah, moving on. A.J. Brown. This is phenomenal. You guys know I love Jalen Hurts. I love A.J. Brown. So I'm a huge Eagles fan going into this season. And it makes sense. I mean, first of all, I don't know if you guys saw the offer Tennessee made A.J. Brown. They offered him $16 million a year.
A.J. Brown should have went into the front office and exactly.
It said this. Like, bro, what is wrong with you? $16 million a year is disrespectful.
Christian Kirk just got 18.
Like, you're paying him $16 million a year. That's like the 40th best receiver you're basically paying him as the numbers that they're getting. But I mean, the Eagles had one of the best nights of the year. On top of my 3 winners, we'll get into that later, but they were one of my winners in this offseason or this draft. Because getting A.J. Brown, it just complements Devonta Smith perfectly, I think. You have Devonta Smith, who's more of that natural route runner. He's 6 foot, 170 pounds, more of the slender guy. He's still led the team in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns last year. And now you bring in A.J. Brown, who is one of the best yak receivers in the NFL, one of the best contested catch receivers in the NFL. As you mentioned, he could take any catch and take it to the crib. Doesn't matter if it's 20 yards out or 80 yards out. He has that type of game-breaking speed with someone who's still 6'1", 220 pounds, and is still 24 years old. I mean, that's still insanely young. There's some people in this draft at the start of the season who's going to be 24 years old. So you get A.J. Brown, and you also pay him 4 years, $100 million, 51 guaranteed, 57, something like that. You're paying him $25 million a year, which is sure, it's a lot, but you're not breaking the bank to sign him. You're not giving him $30+ million. It's a very reasonable contract. And I tweeted it out. Some front offices are just better than others. The Cardinals traded the 23rd pick for Hollywood Brown, who I like, but I look at him as just a high upside wide receiver too, while A.J. Brown is an alpha number 1 wide receiver who they traded the 18th overall pick for. So it makes a ton of sense. Also, you got to remember, Nick Sirianni came from Indy, so he played A.J. Brown a ton when he was the offensive coordinator there. He knows how to use him. He knows his skill set, how best to utilize him in this offense, because I just think of all the ways they could use him. And I understand that people have their doubts about Jalen Hurts, but you're not going out trading for A.J. Brown, giving him $100 million, and expecting them to still run the ball the most in the entire NFL. I think they're going to open the playbook up a bit more for Jalen Hurts, throw the ball, because I just can't imagine you make this deal without having, the idea that Jalen Hurts can progress as a passer, which obviously you guys know I think he can be. I think he could be the future franchise quarterback of this team. And then lastly, Jordan Davis, physical freak. We already know what this guy did at the combine, running a 4.8 at 340 pounds, a 32-inch vertical. I mean, just some stuff that we might never see again from a guy at this size. His one, I guess he has a couple concerns, but his main concern is, can he be a full-time player in the NFL? At Georgia, he really didn't play a ton. He had nearly 400 snaps in 2021. To compare that, Hutchinson had over 700, so he's playing about half the normal snaps. Some of that could be contributed to Georgia has an incredible team. Some of it could be, Georgia blows out teams every week, so he doesn't have to play in fourth quarters of a lot of games. But you have him being able to learn from Fletcher Cox and the interior defensive line. That's going to be a scary sight for the NFC East opponents, the NFC East, or the NFC in general. Because Jordan Davis, if he could hit his peak, he's going to come and he's going to be a great run defender week 1, day 1. But if he's able to really develop into a great pass rusher, then we could talk about him being one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL.
It's clear that you have a Jalen Hurts agenda. It's clear that you're high on Jalen Hurts.
You think he can progress as a passer?
Yeah.
Like confidently?
Yeah.
I worry.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but even with you being high on Jalen Hurts, what did you expect out of the Eagles this past season?
You're saying like
in the offseason, like what do you
like
think
this time last year?
Are you about to take a victory lap?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I mean borderline playoffs.
Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, they were borderline.
I believe him.
Yeah.
Okay, if you think that I believe you, if you say that I believe you, I'll just say this.
I definitely did not have them as a playoff team.
I am taking my victory lap.
Go ahead, man.
Because when I talked about the Eagles on the TikTok
that's where you're
video last night, somebody was like, "Oh, it's one of the first takes you had."
He said one of the best. He didn't slander you.
He said one of the best takes I've heard, but he meant it in a way like I haven't had good ones. But
you gotta start being like, yeah, all right, thank you, appreciate that.
With the Eagles, I've been high on them since last offseason. Sure. They were my surprise team of the NFL in 2021. They made the playoffs. When everybody projected the Eagles to win 4 to 6 games, I said, hold up. Are we paying attention to the moves that they're making? They're a playoff team. Now, they got A.J. Brown? What? Are you kidding me? The Eagles had the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL this past season. We all knew that what they're lacking is wide receiver. They fixed that problem with Devontae Smith. But now they glued that problem up completely with A.J. Brown. I mean, these are 2 guys who are wide receiver number 1s.
Easily.
Devontae Smith has that type of upside. Dallas Goedert, top 6 tight end. They have a good running back committee. Jalen Hurts, I'm not the biggest believer in him as a passer,
Definitely.
but he can win games.
He can.
The Eagles are easily winning the NFC East. There's not a discussion here. They're easily winning the NFC East.
The Cowboys got worse.
They did, but
the Cowboys
Dak's take some more responsibility because he hears the chatter.
Sorry, say that again?
Dak, he's hearing the chatter, the disrespect that Mac Jones should have been taken to replace him.
Checks in?
He's hearing the chatter. He's hearing the chatter. I'm giving an example just in our circle.
It doesn't
right
matter.
Here. He's hearing the chatter. Dak's coming crazy.
He's been hearing the chatter for how many years now? He hasn't done nothing. I don't care.
That's not nothing.
Dallas.
That's so strong.
Just the playoffs.
Dallas got worse.
Debatably, too.
Dallas got worse. Washington.
He should have beat San Fran. That's it.
Dallas got worse. Washington, I don't trust Wentz.
Agreed.
And the Giants, they're trending upwards, but they're not there yet. The Eagles are here
Please,
right
make my
now.
day. Make my day.
Sleepers. They're sleepers.
A.J. Brown said it's not his fault that he left. They lowballed him on the offer.
He's 100%
I thought
right.
this was a reasonable deal that the Eagles got with A.J. Brown, 4 years, $25 million each year. There are some injury concerns here. You know, he's not always the healthiest, but when he plays, he is really good. 869 yards, 5 touchdowns in 13 games. That's elite production. When talking about Jordan Davis, I don't care that he only played 38% of snaps on Georgia's defense last season. The reason why I don't care about that is because he's going to have a similar role on the Eagles. Last year, going into the season, I said, wait, hold up. The Eagles' defensive line is top 10. They have 7 quality defensive linemen. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, now Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Hassan Reddick, signing him. Those are 7 quality defensive linemen. They can rotate in and out. They're always going to have fresh bodies. The secondary isn't that horrible. Darius Slay, Avonte Maddox is okay. They signed Kaiser White to be a linebacker that feels that need at linebacker. The Eagles are the most complete team in the NFC East. They're the best team in the NFC East. They can take a big-time jump if Jalen Hurts takes a big-time jump.
I'm with you.
And Jalen Hurts has progressed every season. But even if you believe that Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, which most people do.
I think everyone.
Well, yeah. Everybody believes he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Even though the Cowboys have the best quarterback in the division, it's not going to matter because the Eagles have the most complete roster in the division. And there's not a gigantic gap between Dak and Jalen Hurts. There's just not. Especially what I'm expecting Hurts to be in year 3. I like Jalen Hurts.
You're not Hurts? You're not Hurts?
I've always said I like Jalen Hurts.
Come on. Always?
Yeah. I never said I didn't. I don't think you could be a franchise quarterback. No, there's a difference. Just because I like somebody doesn't mean I think he's a franchise quarterback.
Franchise quarterback.
But I remember when we've done segments on this Alabama crop of quarterbacks, I've always had Tua last. Let's not forget that. Hurts has always been...
That's not something to brag about, King.
Well, I think Mac Jones is a franchise quarterback. So I think Jalen Hurts is not far off. He's not a franchise guy, but Jalen Hurts...
not far off at all from Mac Jones. Not at all.
But Jalen Hurts can win you football games. And
he's a winner, man.
And
but then
what
I
he
say that
lacks...
about Tua, right? It's not cute. It's not winning side.
And what he lacks in the off-platform throws, Jalen Hurts does, and the accuracy and the arm strength at times, he makes up for his running ability, and most importantly, his leadership and the intangibles.
He's one of the best leaders in the league.
Handsome.
He is.
God. You go on and on.
So Jalen Hurts' ceiling isn't tremendous, but you can win games with him. Yeah. And last year I said...
What's his ceiling?
13, 15 best quarterback in the NFL.
The number 12 came to my head, so I don't...
And last year I said, when I talked about the Eagles make the playoffs, I was like, Hurts is going to be anywhere between 18 to 20. I said he'll be a top 18 quarterback. So him making the jump from 18 to now 15 this year, Dak is what, the 11th, 12th? 15 to 11th and 12th is not a big gap. It's just not. Because of that, I like the Eagles. They're going to win the NFC East easily, in my opinion. And even when we talk about their offense, you know, we talked about Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, but they also signed Zach Pascal from Indianapolis. Nick Sirianni coached him. He's a good player to add for depth. Quez Watkins, too. They have pieces there. Jalen Reagor, who knows, but he might get traded.
Might get released.
But maybe, yeah, really.
Released or traded, probably. I think he deleted some stuff on his IG about the Eagles stuff. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are boys, too. They were working out together a couple weeks ago.
I mean, Jalen Reagor as a wide receiver 3, I don't absolutely hate. It just must be that Quez Watkins facts.
Watkins and Pascal are going to be over him.
I
and Goddard. I mean, he's their 7th option.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably.
Definitely.
So. It's a miss.
It's Eagles time.
Don't sleep on the Giants.
I will sleep on the Giants.
Don't do it.
I will. I love the direction they're headed in. Love it, but they're not here yet.
Declining Daniel's 5th-year option, mistake.
Was it?
Because when Daniel tweaks this year and they have to give him a real contract, they're going to be sick. True.
They can say, okay, do it again.
True.
They can probably say they'll probably save more money by
franchising
him or giving him a contract.
Franchising
if he goes off this season, somewhere he goes off. Say he throws 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, right? Let's say that he does that.
What, 25 fumbles?
That's so. You know what's crazy too? Like the interception numbers aren't insane. The fumbles are insane. They're the ones that you don't see on the stat sheet. You really got to look and see.